This is basically a Wall Street unicorn. What is it? Worth $25 billion. Walk me through.
So there's something that's happening now on Wall Street where people are taking big stakes in private equity firms. And now that private equity firms have become so hotly valued, people are moving to direct lending firms. And so these are this private credit rush. Owl Rock is something that was created by former executives of BlackRock, KKR, Goldman Sachs. Only 4 years old, now worth $2.5 billion. They did this whole stake sale thing, sold the stake to Neuberger Berman's Dial Capital, the biggest stake sale business, which just recently raised $9 billion in the largest ever fund to take stakes in firms just like this.
Interesting. And just like this, you mean direct lending firms?
Direct lending firms. They've done private equity firms. They've done hedge fund firms was where the initial strategy started. But as we know, the hedge fund industry has a lot of problems in it these days, a lot of fee pressure, but direct lending is still hot. And firms like Owl Rock compete directly with the banks. They are doing bigger deals. They just recently signed onto a $1.6 billion deal, one of the largest ever of its kind, to refinance some debt tied to a Kelso-backed company. And so the private equity firms are all working together in these private debt markets, and that's the opportunity here.
Interesting. In the same way that we talk about private equity sort of building up like their capital markets arm sort of thing, like this merging as a real competitor to banks in that way as well.
They're seriously working all together. In that deal, you had KKR, you had Goldman in this Kelso deal, you had a lot of other direct lenders as well.
Worries about direct lending? Like
Certainly.
Where are the issues? Because it's small and mid-sized companies, right? The whole point is you go there because you might not get a loan somewhere else. Like,
remember, this is that shadow banking market that, remember, Christian Meissner just last week was telling us about here at Bloomberg, that people are really worried about the shadow market because do they have enough capital to withhold the risk that they're taking on? Remember, they're not a bank. This is not depositor money. This is LP money that's coming in. But that doesn't mean that they aren't necessarily edging into riskier parts of the capital structure that others are not willing to go into.